Welcome to coding. I am going to show you today how to code in a programming language called Python using a web program called Replit. That is REPL.IT. And I'm going to ask for you to follow along if you can, and that way you will be coding alongside me. After you go to Replit, go ahead and create a new REPL. When asked for the language that you want, we are going to use Python, except we are going to change it up a little bit, and we're going to use something called Turtle. And Turtle is a tool that will allow us to use this programming language Python where we can actually draw with the turtle at the same time. And we are going to call this draw a letter C. So that's mostly what we're going to be doing. Once you've typed the name of the program that you are creating, you are going to then click Create REPL. Okay, and you will end up in this interface here where you will be able to start to program. I'll just give you a guide as to this interface. A couple things. First of all, it says you can run some examples. You click on examples. It gives you a little program here that you can run. You just click on that program. Then you can click on run. What you see here is when you click on run, a couple things happen. First of all, it draws in this screen right here, and it drew a square with 4 different colors. So here's where I'm going to code along with you. And so we have made a new REPL, and that's what a program in Replit is called. Now, I'll just introduce you to what I have here. I have a whole bunch of comments. That's what you create when you use the pound sign or the hashtag sign. All these comments are instructions, and there are things that the computer doesn't care about. The only thing the computer cares about are lines of code. It ignores these comments. We're going to start our turtle program to draw our letter C here. From turtle, import star. So what this is saying is from the turtle library, we are going to bring in or import all of the different commands in that turtle library. So the first thing that I want to do to make my program is that I want to change the color of the pen. Here's how I change the color of the pen. I'm going to type color, and then in parentheses I'm going to change the color that I want to make the pen. Now I also have to put that in quotation marks. Now the turtle, when it moves around the screen, it has something called a pen. In order to make sure that I'm not just drawing at any old random time, I want to lift up the pen. I'm going to lift up the pen so I can move the turtle from place to place. Then what I want to do is I want to go to the upper left-hand corner of the actual C that I'm going to be drawing. So the turtle starts in the middle, and what I want it to do is I want it to go up here. Now I happen to know approximately what the coordinates are, but we are going to give coordinates according to the XY coordinate plane. What I'm going to do is I'm going to specify go to, and then I'm going to say negative 250. Oh, and I apologize. We're actually going to go to the lower left-hand corner. We're going to start in the lower left-hand corner, down here, and we're going to go make our way up instead of starting up and making our way down. And so the next step is that I'm going to put the pen down. And what that means is that now whenever I move the turtle will be drawing whatever path it goes in. And so I want to draw a letter C. So what I'm going to start with is by drawing that vertical line first. I need to change the direction of the turtle. The turtle is currently pointing to the right. and it needs to turn 90 degrees to the left to point up. In order to make it point up, I'm going to turn it to the left at 90 degrees. Remember, 90 degrees is a right angle, and so that will move it from going in this direction to moving up. All right, so now the turtle will be pointing up, and then the turtle can move. Now, because it's pointing up, I'm going to move along the y-axis. And in order to make it move up, I want it to move forward 400 paces. Let's test to see where I am so far. Let's run it. Now what we see, I'm going to run it one more time, is that the turtle goes to the location I told it to go in, -250 on the x, -150 on the y. It puts the pen down, it turns to the left at 90 degrees, and moves forward 400 steps, or 400 paces. Okay, so now I've made the vertical line part of the C. The next thing that I want to do is to draw the horizontal line at the top. The turtle is currently pointing up. It needs to turn 90 degrees to the right in order to point to the right. So let's turn it to the right 90 degrees. Next thing I want to do is to make the turtle move 200 paces forwards. So I'm going to say forward 200 paces. And that should make the top of the C. Let's test it and make sure. See, the turtle moves down and up and then to the right, half as far as it went up. That makes a nice little horizontal line at the top. Next, what I want to do is I want to get back to where the turtle started drawing. So I need to make sure to lift the pen up first, because what I want to do is I want to move from here down here, except when it moves, I don't want it to draw because that won't be part of the C. So I'm going to lift the pen up, and then I want to go back to that initial location. It's the same as in line 10, -250 and -150. Next, I'm going to draw the bottom horizontal line. Since the turtle is currently pointing to the right, I'm going to make the turtle move 200 paces forwards. But before I do that, I need to make sure I put the pen down first. Okay, so then I do forward 200 paces. So let's make sure that all works. The turtle goes down, draws up, draws right, goes back to the original location and draws right. And now I've got a C. Good job. I hope you've got a C too. But that's not all. I want to do one more thing, just because it's pretty, and we're going to draw what's called a starburst. Here's how I'm going to draw that starburst. A couple new things here. The first one is that I'm going to set the color to green. I want my starburst to be green. And I'm going to fill the starburst in with the color blue. So here's how I do that. I'm going to use that same color statement, except I'm going to add two colors. The first one will be the line, and the second one will be the color that it fills in with. So I'm going to choose green for the line and blue to fill it in. In order to tell the turtle that I'm drawing a shape that will be filled, I need to use the command begin underscore fill. And in case you're unfamiliar with underscore, that is next to the 0 on most keyboards. You usually have to hold down the shift key. So now that I have begun filling the shape, I need to draw the shape. So this starburst is going to be a bunch of lines that it's going to draw. In fact, it's going to draw 36 lines, and it's going to change a total of 10 degrees each time for each line. So it's going to move 10 degrees times 36 equals 360 degrees, which is a full circle. So it's going to move around in a full circle. That's why I'm drawing 36 times, 36 lines, and moving 10 degrees each time. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what's called a for loop. Now we saw a little bit of a preview on that for loop before, but what this for loop does is it does something a certain amount of times. So like all good variables in math, I'm going to make x my variable. So for x, and we'll see this x isn't going to do anything at this stage, but it can do something in some other programs. It's just going to hold the current number. And in order to say how many times I'm going to do this particular bunch of code, I'm going to say in range 0 to 36. So 0, 36. So it'll start at 0 and it will end when it hits 36. All right, it will not include both 0 and 36. It will just include 0. That's why it's doing it 36 times. So if I change this 36 to 37, I can make it do more times. If I change 26, it would do it less times. And Python needs what's called a colon after that for x in range 0, 36. And everything after that inside of the for loop needs to be indented with a tab. But this line here is this vertical line that Replit makes. So that's everything that's inside of that loop. So what we're going to do inside of this loop is we're going to move the turtle forward 200 steps. And we're going to move the turtle 170 degrees to the left. Now the reason I said 10 degrees before is because moving at 170 degrees means that we're not exactly turning around. We're 10 degrees short of turning around. Turning around would be 180 degrees. After we loop 36 times, going forward 200 and going left 170 each time, we're going to end the fill. So it'll stop filling in with that blue. And then we're going to say we're finished drawing by saying done. That's mostly optional. It would figure out you were done drawing. So let's check out what our starburst looks like. Here's our C. Now it's going to start drawing our starburst with a green line. And we see that it's turning around just short of making a straight line by 10 degrees. It's going all the way across. And it's doing it a total of 36 times. And so we know that the difference in angle is 10 times 36 is 360. And we end up with this very pretty starburst that it fills in at the end, making it blue. One more thing that we can do is, in order to speed things up, right here anywhere in the program, but I'm going to put it on line 3 so that we can say speed 0. And what happens when we say speed 0 is it runs super quick.